Problem with this is that the food that we buy from these bakery and shop most of the times would be reheated, done with reheated oil, and reheated oil is highly unhealthy because most of the time it is filled with trans fat, which is immediate ticket to cholesterol and other heart diseases. My tip there is that carry in a small pouch some My work involves a lot of travel and meetings. I'm not able to eat on time. So how do I manage my fitness or health? Now this is a very common question that we get from our clients when they want to become healthy and fit. They're very apprehensive because they think that they're not able to eat on time and their work involves a lot of travel. So how is it even possible to get into healthy eating habit? Now for one, yes, it makes a lot of difference to eat on time and it's a very good habit. But then what about people who are not able to actually do that? Is everything lost for them? Not really. There are many tricks and tips to kind of manage such a scenario. I'm going to talk about that here. Now, for example, if a person had his breakfast at say 8 in the morning and is getting into a series of meetings and is traveling, he doesn't seem to be eating his lunch till say around 3 o'clock. Now this is a problem, right? So what happens, the person is not going to eat anything throughout that time. He will end up getting acidity, acid reflux, and if such kind of a pattern prolongs for a longer number of days or duration, there's a very high chance that he will get stomach ulcers and other problems, other conditions. Sometimes what people do is that they end up eating some kind of a paripu vada or a cutlet or something that they can lay their hands on. Most of the time it will be from some outside bakery or a shop. Problem with this is that the food that we buy from these bakery and shop most of the times would be done with reheated oil, and reheated oil is highly unhealthy because most of the time it is filled with trans fat, which is immediate ticket to cholesterol and other heart diseases. So this is where the problem is, right? So now how do we address this challenge? My tip there is that carry in a small pouch some nuts, dry fruits such as almonds, pista, cashew, etc. Now what happens is that when you're hungry and if you're not able to eat your lunch on time, maybe take a few almonds and then munch on it and drink a glass of water. The thing about this is that one, you don't need to eat. You're driving or just before getting into a meeting, you can quickly munch on that and then make sure that you're eating something. Also, the fat contained in almonds and this thing is not trans fat. It's a highly healthy fat. It also contains some amount of protein, and you drink a glass of water along with it. Your stomach is satiated at least for some time being. So there is no chance of acidity. Acidity happens when you're not given food for a longer duration and your stomach is anticipating food and it secretes the acidic gastric juices which is required for digestion. It stays there without food, and that's what the acidity is. So there are many tips and tricks that can be done if you are traveling, but just telling you, these nuts and cashew, while they are healthy, since it is also fat, it's a lot of calories. So don't just go on gorging on it and eating a lot of nuts and almonds and ending up being overweight. So that you need to be careful of. So when I say eat nuts, doesn't mean that you take one jar of nuts and finish that off in the name of not being able to eat your lunch and then go back and have your lunch. That's a bad idea. So I hope, right? I mean, with little bit of common sense, you can still manage things and you can still be healthy. And remember, even the healthiest food, if you overeat, it is always unhealthy. Yeah. I hope this was helpful and informative. If you need any tips or has any particular questions or queries, do comment here. We'll be more than glad to answer. All right. So stay healthy, stay young, stay fit.